Hello, everybody. This is Robert Price. So today we're going to be talking about melodic phrasing. Okay, I really think you're going to enjoy this lesson because this right here alone can really change your playing. Of course, all the other things I've covered can also help too. But there's something about when you really are melodic in your playing. It really, I don't know, it really conveys a lot. You're telling a story in general, right? But to be very melodic with it, it really can kind of set you on another level. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. So today we're going to be in the key of D flat or C sharp. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do today is we're going to cover just a simple chord progression. We're going to cover 1, 5, 1, 4. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be doing a 5, 1, 4, which is technically it's also a 2-5-1 in the key of G flat. But so all these 2-5-1s, 3-6-2, 7-3, all this stuff is just 2-5-1s. We can get into that a little bit later. But so yeah, because I want to at least structure this lesson somewhat, because a lot of times I can be all over the place just because so many ideas come to my head. So this is what we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to this is just an example, 5, 1, 4. Now we're going to get very melodic with this, okay? Because I want to show you how you can turn something kind of stale, maybe doing this, to something like this. Okay, or what about this? Okay, or you can do something like, okay, which leads to like voice leading and different things like that. So that's what I want to cover. Okay, how can you take your playing to the next level by just creating melodies within your chords? Okay. So here we go. We are going to start on that 1. All right. And for this, I'm just playing just a regular D flat major chord. All right. But when we get to the 5, just to make it simple, I'm playing a B major chord or a B major 7. Okay. And I'm bringing that 7 down here. Okay. To make it like this. This the inversion I'm playing it. All right. Now, being melodic, a lot of times I like to use that melody note, which is the top, right? The top note is the melody for me, okay? Okay? So, using the scale. Now, you have to know your scales, of course, so you can have the outline. Okay? All right? So, right now, I'm on the 5. So, literally, if I'm being intentional about my playing, I know that I'm going here for my 1. Okay? That's my next chord. This right here is pretty much, I'm playing, with me playing an open voicing like this can be considered maybe like a D flat dominant 7, right? But the way I look at it, I'm going to do a A flat diminished over this 1, okay? Okay, so the chord for this, the first example, this example number 1 is going to be this. Okay, so I might as well give you that chord too. On the 4, this is just a G flat major 7. Okay, G flat major 7. So at least now you have a foundation of why I'm going to certain notes. Okay, so here we go. We're on the 5. So I'm being intentional now. I know that I have this F sharp up here. I did this. Okay? This is why. I wanted to kind of throw something outside the key in there. Okay? Just to kind of spice things up. I had a target note. This is why. You remember I told you that A flat diminished was my next chord over the 1. So what I can do is I can say, well, right now I'm here. Let me choose a target note. And as of right now, the closest thing is F, right? Because I'm here. So if I know my next chord is here, I can just say, well, let me just use the scale to walk down. So I literally can do this. And then, right? And just play, because that's pretty simple. I'm voice leading, right? It's very close. Or I can do stay in the key, and then it makes sense musically because I still have the same quality of chord, right? All I did was just switch the inversion, okay? And my melody, there go my melody. So I literally just created a melody within my 5-1-4 progression. Okay? I hope you get that. I hope you get that. This whole thing, all you're doing is you're just thinking melodically, right? You're just like, what can I do that can just add an extra spice? Now, of course, you don't have to do this every single time, but this is something that can add extra, dynamic to your playing. Okay? Now you have a couple of options, right? You remember what I said? We're playing this G flat major 7, right? Think it's target notes. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 target notes that you can do, okay? Meaning that you don't always have to play it like this. You can switch up the inversion. You can play it like that. I really want you guys to really grasp this concept, because this right here alone is going to change everything. If you come up with target notes, now you can kind of structure your way of coming up with lines. So when I had a 5, my target note was D, since it was in that chord. So I did this. Okay? Now, my next target note has to be one of these notes, right? It has to be either G flat, B flat, a D flat, or F, right? I'm already here. I could do this. I could do that, right? Because it just goes just down chromatically. It sounds decent. Okay? So that line could go like this. I can do that. But I can also do this. Okay, let's say I don't want to go down. What if I want to go up? Okay? Again, I'm going to be strategic because I know that I have target notes. And I'm also going to add the 9 on that, because a lot of times you can just play a 1 chord. Just to be simple, I can play a D flat major over a G flat. Okay? You can play a 1 over the 4. Okay? So if I'm thinking about that, look, you have target notes. Look, there go your G flat major 7. This is your 4, okay? And I'm also doing that. So look up, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 different target notes you can hit right now, right? After this, you remember right now we're here. But I want to be intentional and I want to sound good, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I did the first example was this. You can go down and there go your target note. But what I did earlier was this. So by the time I got to the 4, I was on that A flat. Okay? So you want to play around with this, right? And what those notes were, I did E flat and just walked up the scale. F, G flat, and then by the time I get to A flat, there go the 1, and I just pretty much put the A flat down here too. Okay? So that's A flat, D flat, F, and A flat again, okay? And I chorded in my left hand playing G flat, D flat, and F. That's a good way to outline it, okay? It doesn't sound too muddy, but it sounds full, okay? So that was our first example. I really hope you got that. If you have to rewind it, please do so. All we're doing is just creating melody lines within our progressions, okay? Melodic phrasing. So you can do that. And you also have this. Okay? So let's do another one. Because you're not always going to play your 5 like this. Okay? What if you were open up a little bit more? What if you're this way? Okay? Because that's the same chord, okay? Let's do something like, let's see. Oh, you can do this. What about something like that? Now, the reason I played this is another lesson. Okay? That's actually a part of a scale. I talked about that in a recent video actually, about making up chords from scales. That is my hack. That has literally transformed my playing within a matter of months, literally. Just by saying, figuring out different scales and saying, wait a minute, I can take this chord out of that scale, and this and that. So I can definitely expound on that more. That right there is, oh man, that's a beast of a lesson. But so here we go. We can keep it. You know what? Let's stay with playing. Yeah. So before I was playing this A flat diminished over the 1. Let's keep doing that, okay? But now I'm going to do this. Okay? So let's stay with that. The only thing we changed is the inversion of the 5 and the inversion of the 1, okay? But we're still doing a 5-1-4. So at first I did this. Right? But you can do something like this. And now I'm just making things up because I just want to show you. I'm using a scale. So, right? And I'm saying, well, you remember, I have target notes. I have B, D, F, and A flat. Now, one thing you do want to understand, because I am saying target notes and I'm calling out all the notes. But if your melody, your top note is up here, obviously you're not going to go from B flat all the way down here to this B, right? When I go to that next chord, okay? So you want to stay close, right? So I have, if I'm on B flat, that's my melody note. I know I'm going to this chord right here. So I literally can do this. If I do that, me personally, I like to keep the melody on top. That's why I changed my chord, changed the chord inversion earlier. So if I do this, I'm going to change the inversion and do this again. Why? Because I like when the melody is on top. Okay? But at least I've already gave you the guideline in the sense of I'm playing a A flat diminished over the 1. So at least you understand whatever target note I choose, that's what's going to be at the top of the chord now, okay? I hope that doesn't confuse you. So this is the new example. If I choose to do this, or not this, because I don't like that. If we do, so all I did was this, okay? And I'm just thinking about melodies. So that's why when I added that C, this is all just kind of off the top. So this, okay? Now that is a little bit more simple than this, right? But I want you to get in the habit of thinking about that now. What melody can I come up with? It's really going to help your melodic phrasing and voice leading. Okay, so, right? So that's one. I don't think I really need to cover that one because that's pretty simple. Let's see. What about this? What about this one? I think I did. So, right? What about that? Now, of course, you're like, whoa, wait, what do you just do? You remember, this right here, I knew I was going back to this one. If I knew I was going back to this chord, now of course you may not know how to do this, but you can do, you can lead up to the melody that you want. This whole lesson is literally just for you guys to be more intentional. Start thinking like that, okay? It requires practice, definitely. But for me, it's like, after a while of playing these same chords a lot, before I play the chord, what if I want to do, okay, those two notes leading up to that G flat, added just a little bit more, emphasis to what I'm playing, okay? So that's all you're doing. You're just adding more. You just want to be more melodic in your playing. So, okay, now I'll just give you the notes. So it was G flat in my thumb, E flat and up in the top, and then A flat in my thumb and F. So I had, and then I go to that chord. Okay. All right. So now you have the 5. Okay. Now I said I'm going to continue to go up on this one. I'm going to go up. So what I did, I used the scale. I could stop there, right? Because on that one, I already know I'm going to hit A flat diminished, right? You see? So I have target notes, but since I'm already going up, I could stop here and just do this. So I could have done this. But I said, you know what? I'm going to add some more to it. Because what about if I put this B up top? Okay? What if I do this? Okay? All of this is still right. Like this still is in the rules of playing, which you will come to find out there are really, you can break the rules. But here we go. So now I want B to be my target note now. So I'm going to do this. You see? All right. So it's just the possibilities are endless, because this is not to say you're always going to play an A flat diminished chord over the 1, right? What I'm saying is whatever chords you are playing, find a way you can use the scale to get to the, of course you can use the scale as the outline, but once you understand, okay, I know that I'm going from one chord to the next. Well, okay, if I'm starting out on this 5 and I know I'm going to a flat diminished, what are the target notes? Because I can use the scale to outline it, and then I can kind of maneuver like that. So now you can start coming up with different things. So in this example, when I did this, I said, you know what, let's change it up. I've already done a target note on the F. I've already done a target note, and changed the chord on that D and the A flat. I haven't done that B yet. So here we go. Right? So do you follow me now? I really hope you are, So you're just creating melodies, that's what opens up your playing. And I did that just to kind of get back to it. So I could have done this, right? But I'll just give you that chord. You got B flat, D flat, F, and B flat. If you can't stretch to do that, you can just play this, okay? You can just do a D flat, F, and B flat, okay? All right, so okay. So I hope this kind of opened up your way of thinking. I didn't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to at least start the conversation of melodic phrasing, okay? And this right here, I think is probably going to go into other things, because if we understand what chords we can play on these specific bass notes, that right there is going to open up. Because what happens is, if you didn't know to play an A flat diminished over the 1, of course you're not going to understand, wait a minute, why is he playing a D? Why is he doing Or why did I use that B? Why did I do this? You know? So we have some stuff to talk about, but if you're following along, if I haven't lost you, we can really dive into some deep things that is really going to open up your mind, right? So I hope this this helps you. Let me know how it helped. Definitely like the video, share it, and subscribe. And I'll be talking with you guys soon.